I started having these chest pains. It's important to understand how shocking this event was to me because I have none of the traditional factors that you think about when you think about heart disease. So just to kind of set the stage, I'm a vegetarian. I have low cholesterol. I have low blood pressure. I don't smoke. I don't drink. And I'm not overweight. I swim 3 days a week, 3/4 of a mile a time. I do boot camp twice a week. And I'm relatively healthy. So I started having these chest pains. Probably 6 or 8 weeks they'd been going on. Frankly, they could have been going on longer. And it was this dull ache. And it would kind of come and it would go. And I thought, you know what? I'm drinking too much caffeine. So I would kind of think about, okay, well, they're gone, so it must be the caffeine. And then they would be back, and I'd think, oh, it must be the caffeine. And they were waking me up at night, and it just kind of was this kind of achy kind of pain that was persistent. And it persistent enough that I really started noticing it. So on a Monday of the week prior for it happening, I'd been in New York for a business trip. And again, it was kind of off and go, but I didn't really think anything about it. It was a very busy trip. That Friday, I flew to California to be with my brother, who is an emergency room doctor, to watch his son, my nephew, graduate from med school. The chest pains were still there, off and on. I fly back on Monday, and on Thursday of that week, I wake up and I have no chest pains. And I'm like, oh, good, that's over with, that's gone, definitely the caffeine. So I am on my way to the local coffee shop to get my coffee in the morning, which is what I do every morning after I swim. And the chest pains started again, and they started prior to having the caffeine. So I thought, well, you know what? When I get to work today, I'll ask somebody about it. So I did what every person does, is I get to work, I get on WebMD, I put in my symptoms, and this red light comes on. It says, seek immediate medical attention. And I say, you know, I'm having these chest pains and they're dull and it's achy. And yes, it's radiating down my left arm and up my neck, but they're really dull. And he was like, well, we need to get this checked out. So we went to, he put me in a cab himself after giving me a baby aspirin and took me over to the emergency room where I was met by, because of our connections at work, the wife of a person who works at Kindred's. She's a heart surgeon. And they met me there. And again, they hook me up to everything. They give me an EKG, normal. They look at all of my enzymes, normal. So I'm thinking, well, this is great. I'm going to go home. This is excellent. There's nothing going on here. My chest pains were gone, and that was because I'd had the baby aspirin, but at the time I didn't really know it. So they sit down with me, and they start taking my history. And all of a sudden they ask about family history. And they hear that my mother had her first heart attack in her late 30s. It was very mild. Had another heart attack in her 50s, again very mild, and had a heart stent in her 70s. And at that point, I clicked from being maybe she's got indigestion to we're going to cath her. So they said they could do a stress test, but they really wouldn't know unless they did a catheterization. So we do a catheterization, and it was very emotional for me because I'd been at the procedure with my mother when she'd had her catheterization in the same room, the same setup, and I had said to myself, I will never be on this table, and there I was. And when they cathed me, they found a blockage in my left artery with 60% blockage, But what was unusual and was very atypical is it was at a 90-degree angle. So where it had like ruptured was at a 90-degree angle. It was not smooth, and it was very cloudy, meaning it was active plaque. So I was basically throwing plaque. When he put the stent in, I could actually feel the pressure being relieved and that pain going away. So I was very lucky. I did not have a heart attack. I do not have any heart damage. I'm back to swimming. I'm back to doing boot camp. And it just shows how women can really have different side effects than men, or different signs of men than heart issues, because men evidently just go, ugh, I've got a heart attack. Where women have very subtle ways that their bodies express their heart issues. And everyone was incredibly supportive at work. And I got lots of flowers and lots of food. But I have to say, I opened up a card from a bouquet of flowers that came at the house, and it was from the American Heart Association. And I cannot tell you how touched I was, because they did reach out understanding, knowing that what I had gone through and how shocking and how crazy it is that somebody like me would have this issue. And it just says that any way that we can reach out through the Heart Walk, through being active in the Heart Association, is really important, because if we can tell our story and if it can happen to me, it can really happen to anybody. And it's just important for us to try to reach as many people as we can, not only to help prevent the disease, but also for people to be aware that those little pains might not be the caffeine, and it might just not be the indigestion.